Alright, welcome to my Alan Awake 2 review after getting Platinum. Now, before I start, this is not gonna be a normal review. This is more gonna be like me talking why I like the game. Because reviewing this game, how I do normal games, I feel like will ruin the experience for people. So I'm not gonna to talk about any like spoilers of the game, obviously. So you can watch this review and then buy the game later. You won't get spoiled at all. I'm just using normal footage, no spoilers footage at all. Gonna be talking about the gameplay, some questions that I had about the game and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Now before I start, if you can just like the video, obviously that helps a lot with the video itself. So yeah, so on Twitter or X whatever, I said that in a year or like probably what is the best year of all time for gaming, right? This is my current game of the year. I haven't played Phantom Liberty and I haven't played Sea of Stars and obviously the big one, Baldur's Gate 3. So I haven't played those games yet, but I have played Spider-Man, Final Fantasy, Zelda, all those incredible games, right? Now, I just want to set the tone like what this game is. Alan Wake, the original, I played. I didn't beat it back in the day, but I did beat the remaster. Got the platinum, the remaster. But it's a great game. Obviously, you should play. You need to play that game, obviously, or at least watch the summary, because like you just like you have to know at least what's going on before you play this game. Like what's going on with Alan Wake, what happened in 2010 with him, and all that stuff. So yeah, you have to at least watch a summary before you play this game. But the reason why I think this game nails it is because of just like, first of all, the story is there, the characters are great, but it's also the way to tell the story. Now, without telling too much, right? You can play as this FBI agent that you see right now. Her name is Saga Anderson. She's Swedish, by the way. Swedish. Go Sweden. And I obviously love the Swedish and Finnish things in this game. And you play as Alan Wake. And you can. There comes a point in the game where you can switch between the two worlds. Where like, okay, you go through Alan's story, and then you go for her story, and then like you do the whole climax thing in the end. Now she can, as you can see right now on the screen, she can profile people. So like you really are like you feel like a detective playing the game, and these things are not annoying. Like you're in her space, she can basically, almost go into their heads, see what they're thinking, all that type of stuff, in a way that like a detective would, right? Like you go into deep, you try to think and all that stuff. But what makes this game unique is just the way it does horror, I think. Now, I haven't been this like I would say terrified or scared or whatever since Resident Evil 2 remake, and before that was maybe Resident Evil 7. But what this game does is so well is just it has these moments where like you can laugh sometimes. Sometimes it's more about gameplay focused, and also a lot of people ask me about the gameplay. The game like it obviously has section where like it's more horror based. It's more like calm down some sections, but it also has optional stuff, right? And the optional stuff you can do, like go explore. Then it's just gameplay. You're gonna face a lot of enemies. There's enough gameplay here. Now, with the gameplay, I feel like it's enough for this type of game. Obviously, you're not gonna go around, destroying people like, let's say a good third person, like Metal Gear Solid or 5 or like Last of Us 2. You just wreck everyone. It's not that type of game, but the gameplay is good enough for like, oh, you have a shotgun, you have an arrow, you have a rifle, you have different, like you have a flare gun, you have different types of stuff, and then obviously you have accessories like flashbang and flares and stuff. So there is a lot of weapons obviously in the game that you can face. But what I like about the game is the enemy design, especially later on. You're gonna face some really unique enemy designs. So like, don't worry about the gameplay. Like it is there, especially like if you want to go for 100%. And 100% is not that hard. It's basically just collectibles. I'm not going to be talking about the insane, a platinum review. It's basically just do all the collectibles. There's some gameplay stuff. It's not a hard platinum at all. But it's only like one silver trophy and the rest are bronze. There's no gold trophy. So yeah. But again, the way, without spoiling, what I absolutely love about this game, it mixes up like reality like, for example, short films or like, real like acting in a way that makes sense. Like they've tried this before, obviously with Quantum Break, which I also have 1,000. Since it's not on PlayStation, I played on Xbox back in the day. I have 1,000 gamer score on that, and actually it's a way old game now. But yeah, I played that. Played obviously Control 100%, and you can tell that they like doing this stuff, but they really need it here. Like they learned from the past games what not to do, and what to do. and you can see like in Control it gets better from that Quantum Break, and obviously this game they absolutely perfect it. Now, a lot of people ask me, "Hey, I don't like horror. Should I play this game?" Is there horror element? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is like it's hard not to say this is not a survival horror game, but it's not a survival horror game in a normal sense, right? And here's what I mean. It's a survival horror game where like the story is a very good focus, and the environment is incredible, and what you're doing makes sense. Um, that's as far as I can go without spoiling too deep, right? Now, what I like about it is because it always keeps me going. Now, there are some stuff there's are some optional stuff like open areas you can go back and collect stuff. You know, you unlock a special key, whatever. Later on, you can go back and do stuff. You're gonna face some new enemies there. There is that type of stuff so you can prolong the game and make the game a little bit longer than it's supposed to be. But in my opinion, the game just kept me going all the time. I feel like it's the perfect length. Took me about 20, almost 30 hours to platinum, but also obviously I played on hard. I restarted a lot of things. I took a lot of pictures. I'll still say you can probably beat this game 15 to 20 hours if you're not going for the platinum or 100%. So length-wise is perfect. The way Alan Wake 2 works, in my opinion, is just like it's one of these games where I just feel like I have to say you should play it, right? You should play it, and then that's it. Just play. It's a great game. You should play. It's a great game. Now I understand people they don't want it because it's horror based. Yeah, I mean it's very hard because like I don't feel like it's like horror just jump scares. Obviously, it's gonna be jump scares here and there, but it's not jump. It's more like thriller based, right? It's thriller based survival horror with a good ass story, and I feel like when I say horror, the people what they don't like is just jump scares. But I feel like the jump scares in this game are perfectly balanced, and they're not like there's a section that there's like more jump scares, right? Especially where like in a big home, but it's not like where you're gonna go just jumping up all the time in my opinion at least, and it also has fun moments. So yeah, a big question I had about this game is the physical release. Now granted, in the beginning I was like I'm gonna wait for a physical, it's probably gonna take a year or something, but then my friend got Call of Duty, so I can get this game, we can game share, and this game is so good I'm just gonna double dip if it comes to physical. But by the way, just for everyone's information, they did do what they said. Because they only released digital, they made the game 60 on the consoles and 50 on the Epic Game Store. Because on the Epic Game Store, I think they take 12% revenue compared to like Steam and PlayStation and Xbox, which is like 30%. So they can sell the game for cheaper if you want on PC. But I mean, at some point it should come to physical and Steam. At least I hope. It's just money on the table. It's lying there, in my opinion. But yeah, there are like the way this game ends and just how everything connects and the way you interact with the game. I would say that is the most important thing what I like about it. It's the way you interact. It's the way like you play the game and you just want to keep playing, but it captures you in a different way that no other game, not many games do in my opinion, at least in this type of way. Something that annoy me, like I would say maybe it's more negative in my opinion, is like some of the puzzles. But I will say this: the puzzles that annoy me are optional. The main puzzles are very easy. Like I would say the main puzzles to solve, there's no guide needed for anything. But if you're gonna get 100%, use the guide just for someday, because like later on you just read a bunch of text and like what is this? So if you want to just skip those, that's totally fine. But the main missions, no problem at all in my opinion, no problem at all. So overall thoughts, I think this is an instant classic. I think this is Remedy's best work. And considering how many Remedy games I've finished, like I always love Max Payne 1 and 2, Alan Wake 100%, Quantum Break 100%, Control multiple times, actually 2 times with all DLCs 100%. So like, and now this game 100%. So I think like I'm a huge Remedy fan now, honestly, especially after this game. But this is their true masterpiece. If I had to rate the game, in my opinion, this is like, as of right now, obviously I'm gonna make a list once I beat all the games I wanna beat this year. But as of right now, it is in my game of the year. And I don't think Phantom Liberty, maybe Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard so much good about that. Maybe Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna take that spot. But yeah, if you have any questions, like I feel like this is one of those games where like people are gonna ask me. So if you have more questions about this game, it is very hard not to talk about some of the things without spoiling. I will be happy to answer them. So yeah, masterpiece for this game. I am shocked. Like, if you told me at the beginning of this year, Alan Wake 2 is going to be your game of the year, over Spider-Man, over Zelda, over Final Fantasy, like, I would never guess. But yeah, best year for gaming ever, in my opinion, 2023. Game of the year so far. Thank you for watching, and I see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.